A woman has been arrested in Indianapolis. She rammed her car into a school because she believed there were Jewish kids inside. I mean, where do you think this comes from? The propaganda, potentially, right? Where do you think this comes from? So, arrested for crashing a car. The Indianapolis Metropolitan Police say the woman is in custody. Officers called to the building to investigate a possible hate crime. They found Ruba Almagath, 34, had hit the building while several adults and children were inside. Police labeled Almagath a terrorist, according to Fox 59 in Indianapolis. Palestinian woman she is. You're going to hear more of that. The man beaten to death in California. The woman ramming her car into a Jewish school in Indiana. So let's talk about a couple of things. I just found this on the internet, and then I lost the page, so I can't give the guy proper credit, but he wrote something that I think is well worth repeating here. It's not my work, but you need to hear it. The term Islamophobia is a powerful tool employed by Muslims to put their critics on the defensive, you see. It effectively serves as a shield to protect Islam from scrutiny and silences those who would question its tenets. Its origins date back to the late 1970s, when Iranian fundamentalists invented it with the deliberate intention of making Islam immune to any criticism at all. This term, reminiscent of totalitarian propaganda, intentionally lacks specificity, leaving it unclear whether it pertains to the religion itself, the belief system, or its adherents worldwide. It's not clear, you see. Islamophobia denies the reality of an Islamic offensive and suppresses the voices of Muslims who challenge the Quran, demand gender equality, or seek the freedom to practice their faith without oppression. Time and again, Islamophobia has proven successful in its mission. It empowers Islamic apologists to silence any critique of Islam. Those who advocate for the monitoring of mosques to safeguard public order are justifiably denounced. As a result, issues such as child marriages, forced marriages, female seclusion, honor killings, gang rapes of non-Muslim women, or the enslavement and sale of females for sex slavery remain hidden due to the fear of being labeled as racist, xenophobes, islamophobes. These fears are not irrational, but grounded in reality. Muslims strategically exploit diversity politics and the dreams to advance their agenda. By invoking Islamophobia, they aim to discredit and vilify their critics, all the while enjoying the support of multiculturalists and the cultural left. So enlightened they are. Consequently, Islamophobia not only stifles legitimate discourse and debate, but also obstructs the acknowledgement of pressing societal issues, perpetuating harmful practices and ideologies. It is a potent weapon, wielded to further the Islamic cause and silence any dissenting voices, including yours. Islamophobia is an ideological construct, legitimately, a term strategically wielded to stifle critical thought and pave the way for a totalitarian future. As Andrew C. McCarthy astutely points out, it's neologism, crafted by the Muslim Brotherhood, an organization well-versed in the art of deception. It's high time we cease catering to those who manipulate this term. In the face of the evils perpetuated by extremist ideologies, we should all be unapologetically critical, be it Islamophobia, Nazi phobia, communist phobia, or any other such nonsense. Yes, I'm not fearful of these things. I stand against these things. Genuine concerns about the consequences of these ideologies should not be silenced. I'm apparently Islamophobic, according to this orthodoxy. Maybe you should be too, according to this orthodoxy. Islamophobes include Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, and Jews, of course, who don't want to be forced into a political system that treats them as third-class citizens. Atheists who want the freedom to live openly and challenge religious orthodoxy in the public sphere. Women who don't want to be draped in black bags. Heterosexual males who prefer not to see women draped in black bags. Wives who don't want to be beaten. Those who drink. Artists and art lovers. Homosexuals who don't want to be beaten to death or thrown from a building. These are the Islamophobes on the planet. Anyone else who believes that consenting adults should not be killed or tortured over sexual practices, dog lovers, animal rights activists, and anyone else who is opposed to the cruel and unethical treatment of animals, which is common practice. Mothers who don't want their daughters killed over a man's honor, honor. Anyone who believes that wives have the right to divorce their husbands, intellectuals who value freedom of conscience and public dissent, anyone believing that the value of a person's life is not determined by their religious beliefs, feminists who believe that women should not be made subordinate to men by a religion that openly insists that females are intellectually and legally inferior to men, anyone who disagrees that Muslim men should not be allowed to marry as many as 4 women at a time and have sexual relations with an unspecified number of sexual slaves as well. Anyone else who objects to a religion in which a woman's identity is defined by her relationship to a man. Whoever knows that the clitoris is there for a reason. Secularists who believe in the separation of government and religion. The left-handed liberals who don't believe that culture and moral values should be established by a state-sponsored religion. Muslims who would like the freedom to leave Islam. And so many more. Islamophobia? So be it. I'm not fearful of Islam. I'm opposed to the tenets that are taught here. I'm also opposed to communism, Nazism, totalitarianism, any state of oppression that leaves anybody behind. That's why I believe in America. Because here in America, those that are Muslims can live free, and so can Christians, and Jews, and Sikhs, and Hindus. All of them can live free here. And for the most part, we do. Now, the ginning up of this Democrat holy war is creating problems. Obviously, the war in the Middle East is creating problems. But when I say holy war, I mean it inside the Democrat Party. You got Rashida Tlaib on one side, screaming that anything that is done inside the Gaza Strip is genocide. She chants from the river to the sea and says, oh, I don't know what that means. Really? You don't know what that means? Remarkable, because everybody else knows exactly what that means. And it means the extermination of Israel and everybody that lives there. Of course she knows that. Of course she knows that. More propaganda.